I brought you on because I wanted to talk about all this cool stuff you're doing. So maybe just talk about your job and kind of what you do first, and then we're talking about the cool things you covered, because you covered really three cool things in the valley that I thought were like kind of big deal as far as is
Yep.
important events in Arizona. Um, do you maybe want to talk first about what you do, and
So for me, I actually,
what's the name of your company? I don't even know the name of it.
it's just my name, Slaven Creative LLC, because you got to make an LLC. You don't want to get sued by somebody and they go after your personal money. But
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of rebranding it. It's either going to be Urban House Creative, where we're going to have a bunch of creatives working together collaboratively to just produce epic content. But what I do is I used to call myself a photographer, but that's kind of becoming a
Weird now.
dated
Yeah.
term. So
Media
I'm a
now.
creative media specialist, which
Mhm.
means I specialize in photo, video,
Mhm.
and I fly drones for a living. This is kind of to go to the next topic, which is going to be I've covered a lot of the Black Lives Matter
Yep.
protests,
Yep.
and the number one issue that we are running into as photojournalists
Mhm.
is people saying, I don't want my photo taken.
Yeah.
But a lot of things, like what people don't realize when you're a journalist, as much as it's kind of gone the way where they are becoming biased, you're supposed to be unbiased.
Yeah.
If you're going to be out there in the public,
Mhm.
we're going to do our due diligence to portray everything fairly, and we're going to take photos.
Yes.
When these photos are taken, like I always try and get them in kind of an artsy way where it obscures the face.
Yep.
But sometimes I think people are going to have a more emotional attachment
Yep.
if you get a photo of somebody like, oh, fuck, this guy looks like
Well,
me and he's out
there's
there
emotion on the
protesting.
face. So like if it's blurry, you don't get the emotion of the anguish or happiness or whatever the
Yeah,
emotion is happening. And especially if this is a monumentous thing like a protest, that's kind of important to show like the feeling of the thing that's happening. Not just the action of holding a sign or getting hit or shot with a rubber bullet.
yeah,
Like the face is important, because that's how humans. I mean, we read so much communication through faces, and
exactly.
if it's blurred, it's harder to portray that. I would think, but yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm sure it's. You probably get crap from both sides, right? Like
Yeah, it's
police or protesters, probably both are not really happy with what shot, even if it's just, hey,
yeah.
this is what was there. I just shot what I saw.
The first day that I went out there was on the, I believe it was on the 30th when it started, when it became somewhat violent. I actually ran into a dickhead that was talking to a female photojournalist. He got into her fucking face. Pardon my language, I cuss, I'm Serbian. So,
I'm Serbian.
no, so basically this guy was saying, oh, you're the fake media, you're an undercover cop. First of all, one,
To the lady?
yeah, to the lady. And I
Oh, okay.
walked up to him and I'm like, dude, what the hell's your problem? Because, like, if it was your wife or if it was my girlfriend and I
Yeah.
heard somebody was doing that,
Yep.
I always tell people, back away. My gear is expensive. And if you have a problem with it, I'm going to defend it to any possibility or
Yeah. Yeah.
any
Yeah.
any means.
Yep.
But the problem is the protesters think we're going to portray them in a negative light. The police think, oh, you guys are working with the protesters. But a lot of the images I've captured is just shows that it's peaceful protests. You have the idiots, the dickheads that have gone out
Yep.
and try to hijack the movement,
Yep.
and they've smashed windows, ridden stuff. Those aren't the people you should associate with. Like the idiots that
Yeah.
went into Scottsdale Fashion Square. They don't realize, yeah, you went after the big stores, but the mall was open for a week. Those people that work there are making 11, 12, $13 an hour. They finally started making money, and for you to go in and loot all this stuff,
Yeah.
that was a dick thing to do.
Yes.
And then the media portrays them, and then you see the people. I know I'm saying, oh, we're supposed to be unbiased, but a lot of the media is like, they only turn on the light or focus on the negative aspects.
Oh yeah. So I'm happy like when you go out and you take video or photos, and then I can actually ask you like, well, what was it like there?
Yeah.
What was your feeling of how it was going on? Because I can at least trust you. I know
Yeah.
who you are. Like you don't have, nobody's paying you to sway a certain way or whatever like
There-
that. Yeah.
That's why at the protest, the media just focuses on the violent dipshits.
Yeah.
But in reality, most of them have been peaceful. Yeah, some people get out of hand. Like even at the Phoenix protests, like Black Lives Matter protests,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like dickhead hippie, like hipster kids walk up to a black police officer on their ride line and say, Black Lives Matter, you're a piece of shit. How do you think your family feels? Look at the color of his skin. If you really believed in their movement, that their thing matter, he's in there. He's providing for his family. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it sucks in law enforcement. Like, I thought about every time the police officers that took the knee in Phoenix.
Yeah.
I left early because we had a curfew till 8.
Yeah.
And I followed the
With
rules.
the media too. Yeah.
Yeah, with the media, you can actually stay past, but I just want to get the hell out of there. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like what was going to happen. But the guys that took a knee, I think it was 3 or 4 of them, I thought to myself, oh my God, I think the police union, their buddies, are going to give them so much shit for it.
Yeah.
Because some of the people, everybody's out there. I'm glad it's been peaceful. The protests are still going on. The media is not covering them. They recently had a chalk walk yesterday. They went to Tempe, the Tempe City Hall, and they just wrote messages on chalk. There's a group here in
On
Phoenix.
sidewalks or?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
group in Phoenix. It's if
That's cool because you can wash it right off.
Yeah.
It rains, it goes away. It's not permanent. It's not spray painted. You're not destroying property with chalk. Really.
yeah, there was a group in Phoenix that it originally, the movement started in a weird way leaderless, but now it's a group of people called the We Rising Phoenix. I followed their Instagram just to see what's going on. I haven't been to many of the protests as I've just been busy as of lately, but I know they're still out there. And the last thing I checked was they were writing stuff on chalk and just putting
Have
a
you
bunch
seen
of
me-
yeah, they go out there and they write stuff on chalk, and I think just the media plays a lot of fear mongering.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I always used to say, "Oh, that's just conspiracy theories."
Yeah.
But nowadays, you don't know who to freaking trust
I don't.
anymore.
I don't.
They make it seem like we're all out there to fucking kill each
Some
other.
of these news, channels have been caught lying.
Yeah.
Like caught or embellishing, however you want to look at it. Embellishing. I don't know. I don't know what's real, and then it's also like one person does something that's a part of a group, but then it's like the whole group is that.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, that's just one guy in that group that
Yep.
did that thing. And yeah, that's probably not good that person did it, but like
Yep.
I can't say it's the whole group. I don't know that. I've had a ton of bad experiences with the police, but I still believe most police are good people and they just have a job and they want to get home safe.
Yeah.
Have I had a lot of bad experiences with officers? And I'm as white as it gets. Like, my name is Mike Martin. It's just like it's like as white bread, mayonnaise you could get. Like I had a bunch of issues with officers, but I don't go all officers are bad. Even I just don't believe that. I don't think that's the case. Yep. Do I think there are bad officers? Yes. Do they should be removed? Yes. I feel like everyone should believe that, but
Yep.
it's just kind of like swayed all over the place. And it's like, let's just get rid of all the cops. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand the whole defunding thing. They're trying to say, oh, defund them, but reword it differently. Like,
well, I don't know that they have a plan.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like, I understand the concept of, or I've read into the concept of defunding, and then they rebuild it and they allocate the funds differently. But I'm not really hearing any plans of how you're going to do that. There's just kind of like ideas thrown out there. I'm like, you can't run any organization just without fully fleshed out ideas. Like, you give me exactly what we're talking about here with social workers or whatever you're planning on doing or training or whatever. I just feel like there's no plan for anybody on any side of anything. Like, everyone's just winging it.
It's a weird time right now. I'm straight out telling you because I don't know. I think there's bad officers and there's good ones.
Yep.
Even I've run into dickheads before.
Yep.
I've gotten pulled over. When I was younger, I drove like an idiot.
Yep.
But a lot of times, like, there was one guy that I just had a terrible experience with. I got pulled over. I used to work in hospitality. And I got pulled over off of like 16th Street in Glendale. I worked a long shift, and apparently he said I ran a red light, but I didn't.
Yep.
But what the hell? How can you argue with him?
You can't argue. Yeah, I had that twice. I had where I'm like, I didn't commit the thing that you said I did, and then I'm like, it's your word versus mine. I lose. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. You know. Now you can get some cameras, and I think that helps. Like, I was even thinking about getting one in my car for like accidents too, just to record while I'm driving, just But no, I didn't run the red light. That guy did. I could
Pick
see on
up a
the
little
camera.
GoPro or something like that,
Yeah.
and you can just run it, because I think it's coming to a point where we as people, as messed up as it sounds, with the recording, that's how you police people.
That's how you police. Yeah, the
even
police.
even accidents or the police or
Yep.
anybody, people are idiots. Like,
Yep.
there's been people that have left their phones on to record dentists and stuff where you're sedated.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think there was a lady not too long ago that
Oof.
recorded her dentist saying inappropriate stuff, and it's like, dude, like, you're supposed to be somebody I trust when I'm
Trust,
going
yeah.
under.
Yeah.
Now, like, you're telling me I can't trust you because you're gonna like make jokes and shit. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
So
What did you when during the process was there a lot of people wearing masks or no?
I always wore a mask.
You did, but do
majority
you feel like
of
most people were wearing masks?
people wore masks and some people didn't. But one thing I always did once I got home, I would literally just take off all of my clothes,
Yep.
throw it in a pile,
Yeah.
and disinfect all of my gear, because we all know, like, people are dirtbags. Like, we've gone to a men's restroom and you see somebody taking a leak and they don't wash their hands. Like, dude, what the hell?
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
no. I was telling people that, like, the new spikes in COVID and stuff. I think there's less people dying, but the hospitals getting full more. But someone said a new article came out that they didn't blame the protests. I'm like, well, there's thousands of people there, and they're really close, with masks or not masks. Like, even when I go to the grocery store, see with people in masks, they're still pulling down their masks and touching their face.
These stupid things.
Yeah, but like the mask is good if you don't. It prevents. I do believe it prevents coughing and pushing it out. But like,
Yep.
people are still touching with their hands, and they're not washing their hands. I can see while you're at a protest, you touch your face, you put your mask back on, you shake hands with a buddy next to you or someone you don't even know.
Yep.
You literally just put whatever's on your hands on that guy's hands, and then he touches his face too. So I don't see how it didn't increase COVID with masks or without masks. I was just curious. And then with the bars, like you said, like, I don't know how many times I've gone to a restaurant or a bar and I'm washing my hands. I see someone get out of the bathroom and then walk out the door. Didn't wash your hands. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Wash your hands. Like, you dirty bastard. That's so gross.
That's the thing you were taught as when you were like
For
little.
your child, for sure. And I'm constantly, I have little kids. My youngest is 6. I'm constantly like, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Did you wash your hands, buddy? Yeah, I washed your hands. I'm looking at them like, they're wet, but I don't know if did you do soap? Like,
Yeah.
gotta use soap. Like, I feel like we gotta talk to people like children.
I argue with my little niece all the time. She goes to the restroom and then she flushes and walks. I'm like, you wash your hands? No, go back in.
Go wash your hands.
And she washes it.
Yeah. So, like, that was my other thing. Like, when the bars were open for 3 weeks, you were seeing those videos too, like, just packed with people.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling people, like, same thing. People, even when they start drinking, they're even less washing their hands because they're forgetful or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just like, whatever. Or they're sharing drinks, or you grab the wrong drink. There's all these drinks on the counter. Oh, I think this one's mine. You grab it, but it was you and you had COVID. Now I have COVID.
Yeah.
Or all the young people, like, they're just trying to hook up. They've been in quarantine for 3 weeks. They're trying to hook up with each other. Girls are making out with people. Guys are making out with girls. How are you not, spreading COVID? Like, it just are.
Even at the protests, they're actually very well organized. The first few were kind of random, but they would have supply stations. So
Yeah.
people would drop off water, because once Ducey put in that order,
Yeah.
where basically the curfew, he thought it was going to cause unrest, but a lot of people would show up at 5 and be done by 7:50 and then go home. But they would have these drink stations, but so many fucking people are putting their hands in there. You're thinking to yourself, oh, I just drank
Was
that
it water bottles? It was
yeah,
like,
water bottles.
Oh, okay.
But still, you're putting your hands in
oh,
ice.
you're putting
so,
your hands. Yeah. So you're still touching
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 of them by the time you grab your one.
Yeah.
And then whatever's on your hand. Oh, yeah. I
So I was thinking about that, and
Oh,
then
I
there
didn't
was
even think about that.
and there was people dropping off pizzas, and everyone's
Oh,
grabbing it. So
jeez,
you're
yeah.
just like, you're opening up. Even if you're wearing a mask, you lift it up to drink your water,
Yep.
and now you have all these germs. So I'm amazed at how COVID is so like woke. It doesn't go to protests.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather beat the ladder. Instead of getting fatter, let the footsteps resume naturally.